One building, two completely different worlds of whiskey.
The Horn Chronicle, a German tastes America.
The Tennessee Whiskey Trail winds through rolling hills, quiet hollows, and small towns where time seems to move a little slower. Each distillery has its own rhythm, its own voice, shaped by generations of hands that built, repaired, and carried on the craft. As I followed this trail, I didn't just taste whiskey, I walked through history, listened to stories carried in the walls, and met people whose passion runs deep in every drop they make. This film is my way of sharing those places and moments just as I experienced them. This is my journey.
Y'all wanna know where I love to be? Nashville, baby, Tennessee.
Yes, we are in Nashville, Tennessee. Tennessee Legend and Corsair Distillery can both be found here at Marathon Village, and the place itself is already worth the visit.
Oh, listen to sweet country music, yeah. Front porch rocking with Moonshine.
Before stepping into the distilleries, it's worth taking a moment to understand where you are. Marathon Village isn't just a collection of buildings. It's a place where Nashville's past has been carefully brought back to life. These historic brick structures once belonged to the Marathon Motor Works, an automobile company that in the early 1900s built luxury cars right here in Nashville. Walking through these halls today, you can still feel that history. The old factory floors, the high ceilings, the steel and brick, it all tells the story of a time when craftsmanship meant something very different, yet somehow very similar to what you see here now. After the automobile era came to an end, the buildings stood quiet for many years. But instead of letting them fade away, they were given a second life. Today, Marathon Village is home to local artisans, small businesses, creative studios, and of course, distilleries. It's a place where past and present come together in a very natural way. You'll find handcrafted goods, unique shops, and people who truly care about what they create. There's a certain authenticity here that you don't often find in more commercial places, and that's what makes it special. It's not loud, it's not trying to impress, it simply invites you to slow down, look around, and take it all in. For me, Marathon Village feels like a perfect starting point. Not just for visiting distilleries, but for understanding the spirit of Nashville itself.
Listen to sweet, I said listen to my sweet country music. Rainy Lee, looking for me. Bubba J, Roscoe Ball, looking for me. Come on, I'll be front porch rocking with Moonshine and cornbread. Listen to sweet country music. Front porch rocking.
Tennessee Legend Distillery is actually less of a traditional distillery and more of a tasting experience, and that's exactly what makes it different. Across Tennessee, there are several locations, in fact, around 4 in total, including places like Saverville, Cookeville, and right here in Nashville. Most of them are not full production sites, but tasting rooms where you can explore a wide range of spirits, from moonshine to flavored whiskeys and cream liqueurs. The Nashville location here in Marathon Village is smaller, but full of energy. The team behind the counter guides you through the tasting, and you can really feel how much fun they have sharing their products. It's less about the process and more about the experience. And sometimes that's exactly what makes a place memorable.
Rocking with Moonshine and cornbread, listen to sweet country music.
We're not done yet, just a few steps further, and things take a very different turn. Right here in Marathon Village, just a few steps away, you'll find Corsair Distillery, and it feels completely different the moment you step in. While many distilleries are built around tradition, Corsair is driven by experimentation. Founded by Derek Bell and Andrew Weber, this place was never meant to follow the classic path. From the very beginning, their idea was simple. Don't just repeat what already exists, create something new. And you can see that mindset in everything they do. They work with unusual grains, explore alternative smoking techniques, and aren't afraid to try mash bills that most distilleries would never even consider. From quinoa whiskey to heavily smoked malts and small batch experimental runs, this is where curiosity becomes spirit. Walking through this space, you notice something different. It's not just about production, it's about creativity. The Nashville location here in Marathon Village is more compact, more intimate, almost like a workshop, a place where ideas are tested, refined, sometimes even challenged. You don't get the feeling of a large, polished operation. Instead, it feels hands-on, close, and very real. And that's exactly what makes it interesting. It's not about doing things the traditional way, it's about asking, what else is possible? Standing here, you quickly realize this is a place for people who want to explore whiskey beyond the expected. For me, it's a refreshing contrast, a reminder that whiskey doesn't always have to look back. Sometimes it's about looking forward, and places like this show that innovation and tradition don't have to compete. They can exist side by side, just a few steps apart.
Dust on the vinyl, and I'm playing it blue. Just a lantern hung high in the black. It watches the highway, no promise of back. I left her in Texas with a tear-stained goodbye.
All beautiful things eventually come to an end, and so does this tour. But in the end, it's never just about what's in the bottle, it's about the story behind it, the people, the moments we share, because that's what whiskey really is. Not just something you drink, but something you experience. If you enjoyed this journey, feel free to leave a like and become part of the story. Subscribe to the channel and don't miss the next dram. Thank you for watching, and until next time.